My dear brothers and sisters, imagine for a moment the journey of a seed. Buried deep beneath the earth, in darkness and silence, it faces immense pressure. It doesn't see the sun, it doesn't feel the rain directly, yet within its tiny core lies an unyielding resolve to push through the soil, to break free, to reach for the light. This, my friends, is the very essence of life's profound lessons, the twin virtues of patience and perseverance. Life, in its magnificent design, is not a smooth, unblemished path. It is a tapestry woven with threads of ease and threads of hardship, moments of joy and seasons of trial. And in these moments of trial, when the weight of the world seems to press down upon our shoulders, when our hearts feel heavy and our spirits weary, it is then that we are called upon to embody patience, not a passive, resigned waiting, but an active, conscious endurance. It is the ability to hold steady, to maintain composure, to trust in a wisdom far greater than our own, even when the immediate outcome is unclear. It is to understand that every delay, every obstacle, every moment of discomfort carries within it a hidden blessing, a lesson waiting to be unveiled. It is to remember that the most beautiful gardens bloom after the longest winters, but patience alone, though noble, is not enough. For the seed to truly break through, it must not only patiently endure the darkness, it must also perseverate. It must gather every ounce of its strength, every fiber of its being, and push day after day against the resistance of the earth. This is perseverance, the unwavering commitment to continue striving, to keep moving forward, to pick ourselves up after every fall, to learn from every setback, and to never ever abandon our noble pursuits. It is the relentless pursuit of excellence, the consistent effort towards our goals, even when the path is arduous and the destination seems distant. It is the understanding that true progress is often measured not in giant leaps, but in countless small steps, taken consistently with conviction. Patience gives us the strength to bear what comes our way, while perseverance gives us the drive to keep going despite it. One is the anchor that holds us steady in the storm, the other is the sail that propels us forward through the waves. They are inseparable, two wings of the bird that carries us towards our aspirations, towards our ultimate success, both in this fleeting world and in the eternal abode. So when the challenges mount, when the path seems blocked, when the whispers of doubt creep into your heart, remember the seed. Remember its silent struggle, its unwavering faith in its own potential, and its relentless push towards the light. Cultivate patience in your heart, for it is the key to inner peace. Embrace perseverance in your actions, for it is the engine of achievement. For indeed, with patience and perseverance, even the mightiest mountains can be moved, and the most distant dreams can be realized. Reflect with me for a moment on the very fabric of existence, on the intricate design of the human experience. We often harbor a subtle, perhaps unconscious, desire for life to be a perpetually sunlit meadow, an uninterrupted flow of comfort and joy. We yearn for a path devoid of thorns, a sky forever clear of storms. Yet a deeper contemplation, an honest look at the reality of our shared journey, reveals a profound truth. Life in its infinite wisdom is not a monotone landscape, but a vibrant, ever-changing panorama, a magnificent interplay of ease and hardship. It is not a straight, smooth highway, but a winding road that ascends steep mountains and descends into verdant valleys, traverses arid deserts and meanders alongside flowing rivers. Consider the periods of ease, those blessed moments when the sun shines brightly upon our endeavors, when our efforts bear fruit, when relationships flourish, and our hearts are light with contentment. These are the seasons of growth, of abundance, of tranquility. They are the moments when we feel a profound connection to grace, when gratitude overflows, and the world seems to align perfectly with our aspirations. These periods are not merely absences of difficulty, they are vital for our rejuvenation, for the gathering of strength, for the quiet contemplation that allows our souls to expand. They are gifts, meant to be cherished, to build our faith, and to remind us of the immense blessings that surround us, often unseen in the rush of daily life. They are the gentle breezes that fill our sails, allowing us to glide effortlessly, to appreciate the beauty of the journey, without the immediate pressure of navigation. In these times, our spirits are nourished, our bodies rested, and our minds cleared, preparing us, though we may not realize it, for the inevitable shifts in the weather. But just as night follows day, and winter yields to spring, so too do moments of ease give way to periods of hardship. These are the trials that test our resolve, the challenges that stretch our limits, the losses that break our hearts, and the uncertainties that cloud our vision. It might be the sting of betrayal, the ache of illness, the burden of financial struggle, the despair of unfulfilled dreams, or the silent battle within our own souls. These are the storms that rage, the deserts that parch, the mountains that seem insurmountable. And in these moments, it is natural to question, to feel overwhelmed, to yearn for the return of that lost ease. Yet, it is precisely in these crucible moments that the true essence of our character is forged. Hardship is not a punishment, but often a profound teacher, a sculptor that chips away at our superficialities, revealing the raw strength and resilience that lay dormant within us. It forces us to reevaluate, to adapt, to seek deeper meaning, and to discover resources we never knew we possessed. It is through the struggle that we learn the true value of patience, the necessity of perseverance, and the profound beauty of resilience. The pain we experience, though unwelcome, carves out spaces within us for empathy, for compassion, and for a deeper understanding of the human condition. It is in the depths of our struggles that we often find the clearest light, the most profound insights, and the most enduring connections with others who have walked similar paths. The very act of overcoming, of enduring, of rising again after a fall, imbues us with a wisdom and a fortitude that no period of uninterrupted ease could ever bestow. The scars we bear are not marks of weakness, but badges of honor, testaments to battles fought and victories won, often against ourselves. Thus, ease and hardship are not opposing forces meant to cancel each other out, but rather complementary elements, intricately woven into the rich tapestry of our lives. One defines the other. The sweetness of joy is amplified by the memory of sorrow, and the relief of peace is understood more deeply after navigating a storm. Without the valleys, the peaks would lose their grandeur. Without the darkness, the light would lose its brilliance. This dynamic interplay is what gives life its depth, its meaning, its profound beauty. It is in the ebb and flow, the rise and fall, that we truly learn, grow, and evolve. To embrace life fully is to embrace both its sunlit meadows and its shadowed valleys, understanding that each plays an indispensable role in shaping who we are and who we are destined to become. Let us delve deeper into the profound nature of patience, a virtue often misunderstood, frequently mistaken for mere passivity or a resigned acceptance of fate. True patience, in its most potent and transformative form, is far from a passive state. It is in fact an intensely active and deeply conscious endurance, particularly during the crucible of trials. It is not simply waiting for the storm to pass, but rather it is learning to dance in the rain, to stand firm against the gale, and to maintain an inner equilibrium, even as the world around us seems to tilt on its axis. Imagine for a moment the difference between a person who simply sits idly, wishing for a difficult situation to resolve itself, and another who, in the very same challenging circumstance, consciously chooses to remain steadfast, to harness their inner resources, and to navigate the tempest with a clear mind and a hopeful heart. The former is passive, the latter embodies active patience. This active endurance demands a profound level of self-awareness and intentionality. It requires us to acknowledge the pain, the frustration, the uncertainty that trials inevitably bring, but simultaneously to refuse to be consumed by them. It is the conscious decision to hold steady, to breathe deeply, and to trust that beyond the immediate discomfort lies a purpose, a lesson, or a path forward that will only reveal itself in due time. During moments of trial, when the weight of the world presses down, active patience manifests as the ability to maintain composure. This is not a feigned calmness, but a genuine internal fortitude that allows us to think clearly, to make sound judgments, and to prevent our emotions from spiraling into despair or rash action. It is the conscious effort to control our reactions, to choose our responses, rather than being swept away by impulsive urges. This requires a constant internal dialogue, a gentle but firm redirection of our thoughts away from panic and towards a quiet resolve. It is the wisdom to understand that some things are beyond our immediate control, and that our greatest power lies not in altering external circumstances instantaneously, but in mastering our internal state. Furthermore, active patience during trials involves a profound trust, a trust in a higher wisdom, in the unfolding of divine decree, or simply in the inherent resilience of the human spirit. It is the belief that every delay, every setback, every moment of discomfort is not arbitrary, but carries within it a hidden blessing, a lesson waiting to be unveiled, or a necessary purification of the self. This trust is not blind, It is cultivated through reflection, through experience, and through a deep understanding that life's most valuable lessons are often learned in the school of adversity. We consciously choose to look for the silver lining, to seek the hidden wisdom, to understand what this particular trial is teaching us about ourselves, about our relationships, or about the path we are meant to walk. This conscious endurance also involves a continuous effort to remain productive and engaged, even when the desired outcome is not immediately apparent. It means continuing to strive, to learn, to adapt, and to make incremental progress, however small, towards our goals. It is the gardener who continues to tend to the soil, to water the seeds, and to remove the weeds, even when the first sprouts are yet to emerge. Their patience is active. It is a labor of love and faith, sustained by the conscious belief in the eventual harvest. Similarly, in our own lives, active patience compels us to continue our efforts, to refine our approach, and to prepare ourselves for the moment when the path clears. It is the antithesis of resignation. It is the embodiment of hope, fueled by deliberate action and an unwavering spirit. It is this active, conscious endurance that transforms trials from mere burdens into profound opportunities for growth, for self-discovery, and for the forging of an unshakable inner strength that will serve us in all of life's seasons. Let us turn our gaze now to a profound truth that, when truly internalized, can transform our entire perception of life's journey. The understanding that every single obstacle, every setback, every moment of difficulty we encounter, carries within its very core a hidden blessing, or a vital lesson waiting to be unveiled. It is a perspective that moves beyond the immediate sting of disappointment, or the weight of frustration, inviting us to look deeper, to seek the wisdom embedded within the struggle. When an obstacle first appears on our path, our immediate human reaction is often one of dismay, annoyance, or even despair. We see it as a barrier, an unwanted interruption to our plans, a source of pain or inconvenience. We might lament its presence, question its fairness, or feel overwhelmed by its apparent magnitude. It is like hitting a wall when we expected an open road, or encountering a dense fog when we anticipated clear skies. In that initial moment, the blessing or lesson is far from obvious. It is obscured by the challenge itself, much like a precious gem hidden beneath layers of rough earth. However, if we cultivate the inner stillness and the conscious awareness to pause, to breathe, and to shift our perspective, we begin to see that these obstacles are rarely arbitrary. They are in essence divinely placed signposts, or perhaps even divinely designed catalysts, intended to guide us, to refine us, or to redirect us towards a path that is ultimately more beneficial for our growth. The hidden blessing might not be a material gain or an immediate comfort. Often it is far more profound. It could be the gift of patience, forged in the fires of waiting. It could be the development of resilience, built brick by brick as we overcome each challenge. It could be the discovery of an inner strength we never knew we possessed, unearthed only when pushed to our limits. Consider how hardship forces us to innovate. When our usual methods fail, we are compelled to think differently, to explore new solutions, to adapt our strategies. This process of creative problem solving, born out of necessity, often leads to breakthroughs we would never have achieved had the path been smooth. The lesson here is adaptability, ingenuity, and the understanding that limitations can often be the mother of invention. Similarly, an obstacle might reveal a weakness in our approach, a flaw in our planning, or a misconception in our understanding. It acts as a mirror, reflecting back to us areas where we need to learn, grow, and improve. This feedback, though sometimes painful, is invaluable. It is the lesson of humility, of self-correction, and of continuous improvement. Furthermore, obstacles often serve to clarify our priorities and deepen our appreciation for what truly matters. When faced with a significant challenge, trivial concerns often fall away, and we gain a sharper focus on our core values, our relationships, and our ultimate purpose. The blessing here is clarity, perspective, and a recalibration of our life's compass. A health crisis might teach us the preciousness of well-being and the importance of self-care. A financial struggle might teach us frugality, resourcefulness, and the true value of community support. A broken relationship might teach us about forgiveness, communication, or the boundaries necessary for healthy connections. In essence, every obstacle is an invitation to grow. It is a divine curriculum designed to expand our consciousness, to deepen our empathy, and to strengthen our character. The hidden aspect means that we must actively seek it out. It won't always present itself overtly. It requires reflection, introspection, and a willingness to learn from discomfort. It is the understanding that the most fertile ground for growth is often found not in the easy sunshine, but in the challenging storms that force our roots to grow deeper, our branches to reach higher, and our spirits to become more robust. When we finally emerge from the shadow of the obstacle, we often find ourselves not diminished, but transformed, wiser, stronger, more compassionate, and ultimately, more prepared for the journey ahead. The blessing was not in the absence of the struggle, but in what the struggle itself allowed us to become. Patience is the steadfastness that allows us to endure the trials of life. Then perseverance is its dynamic counterpart, the unwavering commitment to keep striving, to push forward relentlessly, regardless of the obstacles that rise before us, or the failures that momentarily halt our progress. It is the active, continuous motion of the soul, a relentless pursuit of a noble objective, fueled by an inner fire that refuses to be extinguished. This is not a fleeting burst of enthusiasm, but a deep-seated, consistent dedication that manifests itself in every step, every effort, every decision to continue. To say perseverance is an unwavering commitment means that it is a choice made not just once, but repeatedly, day after day, hour after hour, especially when the path becomes arduous. It is the decision to rise again after a fall, to try a different approach after a setback, to learn from a mistake rather than be defeated by it. This commitment is deeply rooted in conviction, a belief in the worthiness of the goal, in one's own capacity to achieve it, and in the ultimate wisdom of continuing the struggle. It is the internal resolve that whispers, "Not yet," even when the external world screams, "Give up." It is the refusal to surrender to fatigue, to discouragement, or to the seductive allure of an easier path that leads nowhere significant. To keep striving is the operational heart of perseverance. It implies continuous effort, a persistent application of energy and focus towards a desired outcome. This striving is not always glamorous. Often, it is mundane, repetitive, and uncelebrated. It is the student who studies late into the night, the entrepreneur who works tirelessly through lean times, the athlete who trains rigorously, even when their body aches, the parent who consistently nurtures their children through every phase. It is the consistent chipping away at a mountain, knowing that each strike, no matter how small, brings one closer to the summit. This striving also encompasses adaptability. It's not about blindly repeating the same actions that lead to failure, but about learning, adjusting, and finding new strategies to overcome challenges. It is the willingness to pivot, to innovate, and to continually seek improvement in one's approach. The power of perseverance lies in its ability to transform seemingly insurmountable obstacles into stepping stones. When faced with a barrier, the persevering individual does not see an end, but a puzzle to be solved, a test to be passed, a challenge to be conquered. They understand that every failure is not a final defeat, but a valuable piece of feedback, an opportunity to refine their methods and strengthen their resolve. It is this mindset that allows individuals to push past their perceived limits, to unlock hidden potentials, and to achieve feats that once seemed impossible. History is replete with examples of those who, through sheer perseverance, turned initial rejections into monumental successes, profound losses into powerful comebacks, and widespread skepticism into universal acclaim. This unwavering commitment is fueled by an inner conviction and a profound sense of purpose. It is the understanding that true growth and meaningful achievement rarely come easily. They are the fruits of sustained effort, of pushing through discomfort, and of maintaining faith, even when the evidence is scarce. Perseverance is the engine of progress, the force that propels individuals, communities, and civilizations forward. It is the silent, consistent dedication that over time carves paths through solid rock, builds empires from humble beginnings, and transforms dreams into tangible realities. It is the enduring spirit that keeps us on the journey, knowing that the reward is not just in reaching the destination, but in the strength, wisdom, and character forged along the way by the very act of never giving up. In a world often captivated by the allure of instant gratification and the myth of overnight success, it is crucial to recenter our understanding of how true, meaningful progress is actually achieved. We are frequently bombarded with narratives of sudden breakthroughs, of individuals who seemingly leap from obscurity to prominence in a flash. While such moments of recognition may appear sudden, the profound truth, often hidden from public view, is that genuine and lasting progress rarely, if ever, comes from grand, singular leaps. Instead, it is the cumulative result of consistent, often unglamorous, small steps taken day after day, week after week, month after month. Imagine the sculptor at work. They do not carve a masterpiece in a single mighty blow. Rather, they begin with a large block of raw material,
and with countless precise and deliberate taps of the chisel, gradually reveal the form hidden within. Each tap, in isolation, seems insignificant, barely altering the stone. Yet, it is the consistent application of these small, focused actions, accumulated over time, that transforms the inert block into a work of art. This analogy holds true for every significant achievement in life, whether it be personal growth, professional accomplishment, spiritual development, or the mastery of a skill. Consider the journey of learning. No one becomes proficient in a new language, a complex instrument, or a challenging academic subject by simply wishing it to be so, or by engaging in one marathon study session. Mastery is attained through consistent daily practice, a few minutes of vocabulary review, an hour of scales, a chapter read, a problem solved. Each small effort builds upon the last, reinforcing understanding, strengthening neural pathways, and deepening comprehension. The progress on any given day might seem imperceptible, but over weeks and months, these consistent small steps compound, leading to a profound transformation in ability and knowledge. The power lies not in the intensity of a single effort, but in the unwavering regularity of many small efforts. This principle extends to our personal habits and character development. If we aspire to cultivate patience, it is not achieved by a single act of forbearance, but by consciously choosing patience in countless small interactions throughout the day. If we seek to become more disciplined, it is through the consistent small decisions to follow through on our commitments, to resist distractions, to choose the harder right over the easier wrong. Each small victory in self-mastery reinforces the habit, making the next step slightly easier, building momentum towards a more disciplined and virtuous self. The compounding effect of these minor consistent actions is truly remarkable. They create a ripple effect that gradually reshapes our entire being. The challenge, of course, lies in the human tendency to undervalue these small steps. We often crave immediate dramatic results, and become discouraged when they don't materialize. We might feel that our daily efforts are too insignificant to make a difference, but this is a profound misconception. It is precisely these seemingly insignificant, consistent efforts that lay the foundational bedrock for all substantial achievements. They build resilience, cultivate discipline, and foster a deep sense of accomplishment that is far more enduring than any fleeting big win. The truth is, the big wins are merely the visible culmination of countless unseen consistent small steps. They are the harvest, reaped after diligent and persistent sowing. To truly progress, therefore, we must shift our focus from the elusive grand leap to the reliable power of consistent incremental action, trusting that each small step, faithfully taken, is moving us inexorably towards our highest aspirations.